My first video got the correct or a better way to swing the golf ball. Okay, so what we talked about was how the butt end of the club moves in the way, okay, and the club head moves out. So we're keeping the club face more square towards the target or slightly outside the golf ball, okay. So the fault that I always see sometimes is when people talked about in previous videos, when they fan the club face open. If they fan the club face open, then what happens from there is the butt end of the club moves closer to the golf ball. The club head moves in the way. The club head is always behind the hands, okay? So if the club head's always behind the hands, we're going to have to employ a flip. So if I was to take the club back and flip, okay, so the momentum of the golf club is behind my hands, okay? So in order for me to try and get the momentum back onto the golf ball, I have to move one way, okay? And that is to move the club over the top and flip, okay? So there's the club head, or the butt end of the club is outracing the club head. Think of this way, in order for the club head to catch up, I have to try and stop the butt end of the club from moving and the hands flip, which speeds the club head up quicker, okay? So we're going to work on this takeaway today. So club head out, butt end in, shorter backswing, okay? So let's hit a couple of shots here. So another thing that I've always seen in faults in golfers is when they struggle hitting the irons too high and too low, the club face is always open, okay? The club face is always open because they have this disconnection. If this disconnection comes into the equation, then what happens from there is we have to do something to try and close the club face to screw it up. So we have to employ an early release, which is known as a flip, okay? So the flip comes into the equation, and we're trying to get the momentum of the club head back into the inside of the golf ball, okay? So if the momentum's behind me, I have to try and get it back inside by swinging over the top, okay? So let's focus on this a little bit more, okay? So when we talked about when we get to the top of the backswing, we've got a short backswing, okay? But what happens here is the club head goes outside the hands, and from there I feel like I've got a shorter arm swing, a better chance of actually trying to get the club head back onto the golf ball, okay? So if I get to the top of the backswing, and we're going to employ a little setup glitch here, okay? So we're going to turn the right foot out. If we turn the right foot out properly, that'll give us a bit more freedom of movement, a bit more rotation into our right hip, okay? So from there, I'm going to create a bit more rotation, and from there we can actually attack the ball more. Okay, the club's staying out in front, but we're rotating the hips, okay? Because we're flexing the right wrist, or cocking the right wrist, that will shorten the backswing, okay? The club travels a lot shorter, then the club's going to stay more in front of me, but we're also rotating the body at the same time, okay? So as I get to the top of the backswing, I feel like I've got about 55% of my weight on my right heel. If it's on the right heel, then I'm going to be able to transfer that weight from the heel into the toe, and obviously going to try and free up the hips, okay? So the club travels a shorter distance to the top, and if it travels a shorter distance to the top, my arms are going to be more in front of me, as I mentioned before, where golfers get the hands too far behind or too far in front. Club head's too far behind, they don't have enough time to rotate to try and get the club back onto the golf ball, okay? So we're going from outside, club in, from there, the butt end of the club has to stay close to our sternum or our stomach, belt buckle if you want to call it, and then turn from there. The hands, the club shaft is slightly in level with my toe line, and from there we flex the right wrist. The club works up sharper, the club travels a short distance to the golf ball. We can create more power, okay? We create more power because we've got a more efficient arm swing. The arm swing is more efficient, the body and arms can work in unison. Okay, let's hit a few shots here. So outside, then and also, that was a little bit heavy here, so I'm not actually rotating my body to try and hit the golf ball, okay? So outside, and from there, the club face is in a little bit closed position, okay? The club face is in a little bit closed position because we're keeping the grooves more towards the golf ball, okay?